And Margaret Brennan joins us now from the White House. So, Margaret, let's start with this 2-week gap between the time President Trump found out about the contents of General Flynn's calls with Russia and the time that Vice President Mike Pence found out. How is the White House explaining that?
They're not. Really. We know about that difference in the timeline from the vice president's office. Mike Pence frustrated, as we are told, that he wasn't informed earlier and that he was the one who was out there on television repeating what appears to now be a proven falsehood in terms of General Flynn's account that he didn't discuss sanctions when intercepted transcripts showed that he did discuss those with the Russian ambassador at the time prior to inauguration. So this really gets at, in so many ways, of difference within factions and perhaps a communication problem within the White House itself. President Trump really, according to Sean Spicer, took the vice president's anger and upset into consideration when he decided that he was going to ask for Michael Flynn to resign. But up until that point, Sean Spicer says the president instinctively believed that Michael Flynn didn't do anything wrong, even though Department of Justice lawyers told them that he did. So this also gets to this bigger picture question of who does President Trump listen to, and when he is presented with evidence, what does he decide to believe? Does he go with his own personal convictions that perhaps fly in the face of fact? Does he listen to his advisors? And is he keeping his vice president in step with him as the team they ran together saying they were?
The other thing that Sean Spicer said was that Flynn's resignation was the result of a trust issue, the erosion of trust, not necessarily a legal one. But I'm wondering, is there a legal issue in regards to these phone calls with Russian officials?
Look, this story's not going away. This was certainly in some ways staunching the wound in terms of the constant drip, drip, drip of information and details as to what Michael Flynn actually discussed, when he discussed it, and some of the leaks that have been coming from the intelligence community and from the Department of Justice showing that this White House was actually presented with fact that it chose not to believe at the time. When it comes to the legal issues at this point, do you believe that the Department of Justice is concerned that this was going to become perhaps a legal issue? Or do you go with the White House's argument that it actually wasn't one? We don't know enough yet. It seems to be that the story is not going away. As you also see, there are continued reports that there are FBI probes of contact between the Russian government, Russian intelligence officials, and others within the administration. More broadly, we already know that the intelligence community came to the conclusion that Russia tried to interfere in the election in the first place with that cyber hacking. So there are so many storylines here that haven't been fully reported yet. And that's, I think, what we're all working through, and the White House is working through as the information is splashed in the headlines, forcing them to respond to it.
All right, our Margaret Brennan at the White House. Margaret, thank you.